Hello guys, welcome back onto the Dutch couch. This Jim Ratcliffe, he's coming to Man United with he's playing I'm one of the fans, I'm one of the people, I'm one of you, I'm the Messiah. He's playing that card, isn't he, right? All I'm seeing from this guy, he's totally alienating a fan base. He's stitching up a fan base at every opportunity. He's stitching up ex-players. And worse for me, he's stitching up young fans and disabled supporters. It's dreadful. I've got to say, he's already made 250 staff redundant on top of Christmas. The timing's not great, is it, for those families? They might rely on them wages and whatever, which is sad anyway, right? That's not a good look. This is a big one for me. He's cut the concession prices. So young fans and over 65s and whatever, now they're having to pay a flat rate of £66 for a ticket. I believe that's more than double what they was paying before. I might be wrong on that, but from what I've looked at, that's the score. I mean, there's also been talks of cutting £40,000 from the Disabled Supporters Association funds. Now, these disabled supporters, they might have mobility issues and whatever, but they're following you round the country and around Europe. So to cut funding for them, I think that's an absolute disgrace as well. I mean, we're talking about Christmas again. He cancelled the Christmas staff party, non-playing staff, sorry, and their family's party for Christmas. Come on, that's not even a financial error. That's a human error, in my opinion. Think these are people. Come on, have some respect for them, really, is what I'd say. I mean, I'm hearing yesterday he's cancelled another, I think it might be 40 grand donation for this ex-players foundation, for ex-players who are not that well off and might rely on a little bit of extra help. These are ex-players who's give blood, sweat and tears for this club. And now you're taking away the donation from that. So you're stitching them up. This is small fry, this money. It makes no sense to me. This was one that I found so bizarre, ridiculous actually. He's cut the steward's bonuses of £100, and he's also cut a £50 cash prize to the steward of the week. What difference is 50 quid going to make to this man? Makes absolute zero sense. I understand cuts have to be made, but 50 quid, mate. Come on, you get a takeaway for that. Are you really going to miss £50? Come on. This one I didn't really like at the time, because I think no matter what contract this man is on, to have him in an ambassadorial role at your club is priceless. It's worth more than any amount of money on a contract you're paying him, right? To have Sir Alex Ferguson there as an ambassador at Manchester United, for me, is vital. I know people say, yeah, but people there are in his shadow when he's there. If people feel that they're in Alex Ferguson's shadow, then for me, they shouldn't be at Man United. They're not big enough mentally to be at Man United anyway. They're not big enough characters if they fill in someone's shadows like that. Let's get it right. He's an old age pensioner, but as an ambassador, he's vital at your club. Such a big, iconic character. Just to terminate his contract, I think that was a disgrace as well. But like I say, cuts to be made. But like I say, small fry to these owners, right? This is pennies to them. This is like me and you throwing 50 pence on the floor. You're not genuinely going to miss it, are you? These people are not going to miss any of this money. It don't add up to anything in the long run. If you're so commercially massive and worldwide, you could make this money up easily, surely, without stitching your fan base up and ex-players, disabled fans and young ones in particular. On a business side, I know this guy and his team there are very successful business people, right? But this makes no sense at all for me, because it was clear to everybody who had half a brain cell that Erik ten Hag was going to be out on his ear. Why they give him a little... Obviously, the FA Cup, I think, give him a little bit of grace. Fair play, he done well to win that cup. I was never his biggest fan anyway. He won that FA Cup, give him a bit of grace. But to give that man who you knew full well, in a little while longer, he was going to get rid of him. You knew you was going to get rid of him. To give him £200 million to spend on signings, when in the long run he wouldn't be coaching them players, is comical. In my opinion, for a club this size, that is comical. It's ridiculous. Let's put it that way. And on top of that, the inevitable has happened. You've sacked the guy. Everybody else knew it was going to happen, like I said. So you've decided to sack him then. Now you've got to weigh him out with another £16 million to pay up his contract. Make that make sense. So this guy has wasted £216 million basically on signings for a manager he was going to sack and paying his contract up. But then, on the other hand, he's trying to get some money back by stitching up fans and ex-players. Make that make sense. These fans and ex-players have given their heart and soul for that club. On the pitch, on the terraces, in the stands, for all those years. And you've literally trampled over them. You've trampled over them like they're worth nothing after you claim to be one of them and the Messiah. Beggars belief for me. Absolutely beggars belief. And you pair this with the problems on the pitch they're facing at the moment anyway. I mean, I think they're sitting 13th or 14th in the league. They're closer to a relegation fight than they are going into Europe. That's how poor this current squad is after squandering all this money we spoke about. You pair how poor they are on the pitch there with the toxicity you are creating, Jim Ratcliffe and his team are creating in the fan base. Catastrophic. Absolute recipe for disaster. And this is at a club where, let's get it right, for countless years now, there's been a poor culture, a bad vibe between the supporters and the owners and the team. There's been no connection there. I thought this guy coming in would do the opposite, amalgamate it. He would be the glue. I think he's ripping things up. I can't understand it. I can't understand it. I could understand it if it was a foreign investor who had no affiliation with the club. But this, from what I've led to believe, is a lifelong Man United staunch fan. So he must understand the fan base that he's part of, not just the club that he owns now. It's ridiculous. And I'm even told that the Ineos here and Ratcliffe, the man himself, I'm even told that they're the main instigators in what's happening with Rashford at the moment. I'm not sure how true that is. Let me know in the comments if you think it's true, and let me know in the comments your opinions of these owners. Because from the outside, I think they're shocking. And I think the way they've treated you and the name of your club, really, because Man United are built on, they're an iconic club full of history and tradition, and I always put Man United as one of the classy clubs in this country. I think this guy's ripping up the rule book. And I'm not sure why. I'm really not sure why. Some of this stuff is not needed. And it's totally ill-timed as well, I think, in my opinion. But one thing I think is for sure, the last note is going to be, I'm totally sure that things are only going to get worse at United before they get better. There's a massive amount of work to do there. But they're ripping it up from the roots. So whether they have a process there, I don't know. All I can see for now is they're absolutely ripping the heart and soul out of the club. And you thought the Glazers were bad. These are turning out to be even worse for me. I can't believe it. How long's it going to be till the United fans totally rebel against these lot? I think it's on its way already. That's so sad. But let me know in the comments what you think about what's happening with Ratcliffe and Ineos. And I feel sorry for Ruben Amorim, actually. I actually feel sorry for this fella. Top class manager, right? Brilliant future. He's come into this club. I'm not even sure he knows what he's come into. He must have come in, seen this squad originally and thought, what have I done here? Why have I come here? And he must be looking at these owners and the things that they're doing and thinking, is this what I signed up for? I think it's so sad for a club like this. But yeah, let me know in the comments. I'm not going to drone on. But yeah, Happy New Year to everyone, and thanks for watching.